Om Shanti. Today is your 102nd day of your Vardhan, a beautiful meditative Vardhan where we learn about one of the basics of spirituality and one of the basics of how to go into liberation or mukti, as we say. So God the Father tells us that there's only one method. Either you completely surrender yourself to me. That doesn't mean that you leave your home, go into sannyas, or leave your household work. God says, by being in a household, you have to learn the method of being detached. Being detached doesn't mean that you do things and you forget them. Detached doesn't mean that you don't care about people. Detached doesn't mean that if something goes bad or gets destroyed, you're detached and you don't take care of it, or you don't repair it, or you don't make it better. Detached means not to come into the feelings of anything which is gained or lost. So when we are in that constant stage, only then can we make the right decision. That is the method of detachment and the benefit of being detached. So the only way which Baba explains us to be constantly victorious, let's have an understanding of that. So Baba says, may you be constantly victorious in your efforts to become full of all virtues. God is an ocean of virtue, and He wants us to be full of all virtues. How? By the method of completely surrendering yourself. That's what we do. We go to a temple, we go to a mosque, but we don't surrender ourselves. It's just a feel-good factor. We go over there, listen to a few bhajans, listen to a few songs written for God in His complete devotion. But do we really surrender our weaknesses? That's what Baba says. If you don't surrender yourself, there is no use of even going for any jap tap or any form of religious pilgrimage. There's no use. So why do we need to be in connection with God? And what does God want us to do so as to be in connection with Him? And that connection which makes us more powerful, more virtuous. So let's see in details. Baba says, complete surrender. What is complete surrender? Is when you have no body conscious. Even in your thoughts. That means, I am doing this meditation. I am the best one. I can explain better. I am the one who's moving ahead. The rest, all of them are no good, or they're not as smart as me, or I have understood God better, or I am better at such and such quality. All these are body consciousness. So Baba says that this is what comes in between you and your progress or your complete devotion to God. So Baba says then, complete surrender is when you have no body consciousness, even in your thoughts. So no lust, no anger, no greed, no ego, jealousy, even in your thoughts, even while you're sleeping. Your dreams should not be showing you all these impure thoughts. Imagine, that's the level which we need to reach actually. So Baba says, to surrender all awareness of your body. I am so and so. So Baba says, even in Brahmakumaris, you are nobody. You are just a soul. When you have that awareness, only then it will be easy for you to be liberated from this body. Otherwise, the body and its achievements in this world, or the name tags which we have attained in this world, will pull us down, will not let the soul leave the body, because the thoughts will pull the soul back into the body when we want to be liberated. And that's what comes in as a difference between somebody who can leave the body with their own thoughts and somebody who's forced to leave the body because the body is no longer healthy. So we call it as your own will to leave the body or go into mukti. That's what we're learning in Brahmakumaris. So Baba says, those who surrender this thought that I'm so and so, I have attained so much in my life, this is what I did throughout my life in so many years, and they compare themselves, or they put other people down, or they look for weaknesses in others. That's one of the methods of actually not allowing yourself to go into liberation. Think about it. So Baba says, those who surrender this thought and completely surrender themselves become full of all virtues. So imagine, God is soul conscious, not body conscious, because he doesn't have a body. He's just a point of light, a divine energy, a divine being, a spark, a vibration. He doesn't have a body. But we children, when we come onto this earth plane to get into the drama, we imbibe this body, we take this body to play the act or to enact in this world drama. And we come into the habit of thinking that we are the body, but we are actually souls who are looking for liberation. Body is not looking for liberation. Body doesn't say give me liberation. It is I the soul and you the soul who's asking for liberation. So when I consider myself to be soul, then what is mine in this world? Who am I then? I'm not a minister. I'm not a doctor, engineer, lawyer. I'm not none of these things. I the soul am just playing a part of all these things. But I am detached. But if I keep the ego of all these things, then it will be very difficult for me as a soul and you as a soul to leave this body. So that has to be practiced. You might say, well, I don't have any ego regarding that. Well, when time comes, it will be tested. So let's not be so sure. So Baba says, ego, anger, jealousy, hatred, or looking down in weaknesses in others is also ego. So do we have that? If we have that, then we don't have the divine qualities of God, of humility, patience, tolerance, love, equality, acceptance, and many other things. So then Baba says, those who surrender this thought that I am so and so, and completely surrender themselves, become full of all virtues. They lack no virtues. Whose virtues? Godly virtues, divine virtues. Those effort makers who surrender themselves completely and have the aim of becoming full of all virtues. First, you have to have an aim also, right? That I want to become like God's child. Worldly child, we might be like, okay, I have attained so much of wealth from my parents. I have got so and so business because of my parents. Because all that will be left over here. Whose child are you actually? That is a temporary birth which you've taken in a temporary family. You originally belong to me, God says. So then what are your qualities supposed to be? What are your virtues supposed to be? Those are worldly qualities which you have attained for doing business or being smart in your job and other things through education, world education. But the true education is of all the virtues and all the qualities which will go along with you in the next birth and also into liberation. Do you have those? Question yourself. So then Baba says, those effort makers who surrender themselves completely and have the aim of becoming full of all virtues and complete and perfect, and who have the aim of becoming complete like God and perfect like God. We cannot become God, but we are children of God, so we can imbibe the qualities of God and become like Him in qualities and virtues and powers, but not Him. So then Baba says, full of all virtues and complete and perfect, received from Bap Dada. Bap means God the Father, Dada means Brahma or Adam, the first creation of God or Bap. The blessing of being constantly victorious. Only then can we be victorious if we leave that small body consciousness. I am so and so. And there's much more in that, in details, when you come and learn it at Brahmakumaris. So I'll leave you with this beautiful Vardhan. Stay blessed, meditate on it, stay protected, stay home. Om Shanti.